This is John Finnemore's Souvenir programme.
Right. Look, I've called this meeting because there is something it really is worth going over one more time. I know it's not going to be popular, I know you don't want to hear it, but I don't think I'd be fulfilling my duty as King of the Moths if I didn't say it one more time. Not everything shiny at night is the moon.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, you know, Mike. Where did you get that hole in your wing?
Look, it was an honest mistake. It really looked like the moon.
I know, Mike, I know we've all been there, but the fact remains it wasn't the moon, it was a candle. And that's my point. The world is more and more filled with things that are shiny at night that aren't the moon. And until we moths learn to get better at recognising the moon, at worst we run the risk of injury and death, and at best we look like idiots. Plus, all the time we spend flying to something that isn't the moon is valuable time we could have spent flying towards the moon. So let's start with the basics. Remember the old rhyme? If it moves as you get closer, is that the moon? The answer's no, sir.
Yeah. With respect, Malcolm, we really do know all this.
Do we? Do we really, Madge? So it wasn't you last night, then, who spent 3/4 of an hour flying at a Belisha beacon?
Ah, well, no, hang on. That was the moon.
No, it wasn't!
I'm sorry, Malcolm, but it clearly was. Those two moons they've got on sticks by the zebra crossing, they're definitely the moon.
What, both of them?
Oh, I do feel silly.
Happens to the best of us. But remember the rhyme. If it numbers 2 or more, the chances it's the moon are poor.
Can I raise...
Not if it's what I think it is, Mungo. We've discussed it quite enough.
I don't think we have.
Yeah, we have.
No, I'm sorry, but our behaviour when we get to the lights and candles we think are the moon demonstrates quite clearly that we haven't. The question...
We don't want to hear it, Mungo.
Yeah, shut up.
The question is, what are we going to do with the moon once we get it?
Moving on to AOB, mothballs.
Because all the evidence so far is that we're going to flutter around it aimlessly and hit it with our wings.
I won't ask you again.
I just think we ought to have a plan. It feels a bit stupid to be a member of a species with an overpowering, all-consuming fixation on getting to the moon and not the slightest idea what it is we want to do when we get there.
Listen, Mungo. The point of being a moth, as you'd know if you were any sort of moth at all, is to get to the moon. And when we get there, and we will get there, my friends, we will know in our hearts what to do with it. And if it turns out to be to flutter pointlessly around it and hit it with our wings, then I, for one, will be proud to do so. But if that's not enough for you, Mungo, if you'd rather sleep when the moon is available for flying towards and then spend the day perching on flowers looking pretty, then do, please, go and be a butterfly.
Well said, Malcolm.
Yeah, wow. That's why I'm the king. Any other questions? Yes.
Can I just remind you that the phenomenon of phototaxis in moths is not about trying to reach the moon, but using it as a fixed point by which to navigate?
Yes, good point, thank you. Can I just remind you that moths can't talk and don't have meetings?
Oh no! That volcano's about to erupt and destroy our little town of Volcanosburg! If only we'd thought of this before we built our town around a volcano! But it just seemed to fit the name we picked, so, well, who will save us?
Never fear, Mr. Mayor, help is at hand.
Who are you, masked stranger?
They call me Ironmonger.
Monger?
That's right. For metal sheets you can rely on, just call on me to monger iron.
Okay, and you can save my town?
Alone, no. For that, I'll need the help of my friends.
Oh, thank God.
Supermongers, assemble! Fishmonger!
If tasty seafood is your wish, it's time for me to monger fish.
Rumormonger!
For vicious lies that spread like tumours, let me step up to monger rumours.
And warmonger!
To start on conflicts without cause, rely on me to monger wars.
The mongers are gathered.
Oh, hurry, supermongers! It's about to erupt!
Then there's no time to lose. Mongers! Mung! There we are, Mr. Mayor. Your town is safe. I have sealed the volcano's mouth with a gigantic iron lid.
Oh, thank you.
And that's not all. The lid has formed a gigantic hot plate on which I have griddled 1,000 salmon. Enough for all the townspeople.
Oh, thank you.
And that's not all. I have made all those townspeople believe that you are sleeping with the rat catcher's wife.
Hang on, what?
And that's not all. Thanks to me, your town is now at war with Turkey.
What?
All part of the service.
Oh, yeah, but really, just the lid and the fish would be enough, or even just the lid.
Enough fun. Mangers away!
But the Turkish army, what do we...
The cavalry is weaker than their artillery. Try attacking them there.
OK, that's a pint of Guinness and 2 packets of peanuts. $5.20, please.
Here's 10.
Great.
Wait, I believe I have the 20.
Awesome.
What?
Awesome.
What is awesome?
That you've got the 20?
Really? The fact that I have a 20-pence piece inspires you with awe?
No. It just means I can make the change.
I see, and it is your newly discovered change-making power that renders you awestruck. I wonder, young lady, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
No.
Probably for the best. I can only assume your head would explode.
Why are you getting at me like this?
I'm not getting at you. I am merely trying to help you understand that there exists in our beautiful language a whole range of subtly graduated words to express approval and pleasure, and leaping straight for awesome like a bull at a gate devalues them all.
Yeah, I was just trying to be nice.
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you're a very nice person and an excellent barmaid, but I'm afraid your command of the English language is awful.
It's what?
Awful.
It fills you with awe?
No.
Because I only said that your right change having inspired some awe. But for you, apparently, hearing a word used in a way slightly evolved from its origin fills you with awe.
Yes, they're funny, but it doesn't work because that is an archaic use of awful. I was using the well-understood contemporary meaning.
Ah, the contemporary meaning. You mean in this informal environment you were using a familiar evolution of the word, you monster? You're bad.
Oh, come on.
Or should we just both agree that words change their meaning with use and context, and though we don't have to like new usages, we don't have to use them to make well-meaning people feel stupid?
Yes, all right, let's do that.
Awesome. Julian? Julian, is that you?
Hello?
You don't remember me?
I'm so sorry. I can't believe I'd forget someone like you, but,
We used to hang around together as kids. We were in a gang. There were 4 of us and a dog. We solved crimes.
Oh, good Lord, Anne!
No, Georgina.
George?
Georgina.
Right. How lovely to see you again. What are you up to these days?
I'm a full-time wife and mother.
Right. So you're married to a...
To a man, yes. And I've got 3 children. I was 11, Julian. It was a phase I was going through.
Yeah, of course.
How about you? What do you do now?
Yeah, well, you'll laugh when I tell you. I'm actually a smuggler.
Really?
Yeah. Import-export strategist is what I've got on the business cards, but it basically boils down to smuggler.
Right, yeah. That is quite surprising, really, because didn't we used to foil quite a lot?
Well, exactly. Almost every holiday.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that's where I got the idea. It was obviously a booming industry.
Right.
Actually, the ironic thing is that one of my major headaches these days is dealing with copycat, alliterative, adjectival, numeric gangs of kids trying to foil me. In many ways, I made a rod for my own back.
How about the others? Do you see them much?
Dick and Anne, not much, no. Dick's living in California now, in a commune. Calls himself Richard.
Really, why?
No idea. And Anne's doing pretty well. Of course, she's out now.
Oh, is she? I always wondered. Everyone always assumed it was me. But,
No, not out of the closet. Out of prison.
Prison?
Yeah, didn't you hear? She killed a man.
Really?
Yeah, afraid so. She had a bit of a breakdown after uni. Well, I think we all found, didn't we, that adult life was oddly lacking in adventures.
Sure.
Anyway, she was wandering around some caves in Cornwall. She happened to see a dark, surly, bearded man kicking a dog, and I think it pushed some buttons for her. She clubbed him to death with a bottle.
Was it...
A ginger beer bottle, yes. I'm afraid it was. Yeah. The press made a lot out of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's out now and living above a tea shop in Padstow, dressing fir cones up to look like hedgehogs.
Aww. To sell?
Just to keep her calm, really. Oh, I'm sorry, George.
Georgina.
Georgina, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take this. It's work. It's been lovely to see you. Keep in touch. Yeah, hello. Really? OK. All right, slow down. Yeah, so you locked the meddlesome fat boy from the... What are these ones called? The Notorious 9, right. You locked him in the old cottage, now he's disappeared, and the cottage is empty except for a fat old gypsy woman who's appeared from nowhere. Yeah, no, but don't let her go just yet. Is she with you? OK. Pull off her headscarf. No, honestly, just do it. Yeah? OK, good. Now kill him.
Oh, that Batman stole my purse! He's getting away! Someone help me!
Never fear, man. The supermongers are here to help. Mongers, assemble!
Fishmonger!
Rumourmonger.
Warmonger.
The mongers are gathered. Now, let's see how fast our friend can run with iron boots.
Oh, thank you, Ironmonger.
And that's not all. Let's see how fast he can run with his head in a tuna.
Yes, though actually I think the boots were enough.
And that's not all. Let's see how fast you can run when everyone thinks you two cooked this up together as an insurance scam.
No, don't!
And that's not all. Let's see how fast he can run when this whole village is at war with Russia.
Here's your purse, madam.
War? Did he say war with Russia?
No need to thank us. It's all in a day's work. Mongers away!
But the Russians, what do we...
Never attack Moscow in the winter.
Forward!
All right, now, hello. Now, just wait with your reciprocal hellos one moment, please, because first, I do just have to say, as well as my coffee, I have ordered a prawn casserole. Now, what this means for you is that when that comes, what I am going to have to do is move over to the small table in the corner. And the reason is that you're all just drinking coffee, whereas I'm going to be eating, and for that I'm going to need more elbow room. Because with coffee, it's just like this, you see, straight up and down to the mouth. But with eating, you need more elbow room, especially with casserole. Actually, I retract that. I was just getting caught up in rhetoric there, because in actual fact, that's not the case. There's very little work with the knife you have to do with casserole. Whereas a steak, for instance, though as you know, I never eat steak because they overcharge you just for the cachet of the name. Like when Walker's went from beef and onion crisps to steak and onion crisps, which was ridiculous. But as I was saying, with a steak, for instance, you really need elbow room. But still, even with a casserole, you need a fair bit. Certainly infinitely more than you need for coffee. Well, not infinitely. Again, I apologise. I'm allowing my rhetorical flourishes to make a monkey of me. But by a very large degree, to the point that when I'm trying to eat at a cramped table such as this, I actually find I'm concentrating so hard on my elbow room, I'm not really able to give the subject under discussion the full weight of my attention. So, actually, although I see that taking my prawn casserole to the small table could superficially be misconstrued as an antisocial action, in fact, I think counterintuitively it will improve the quality of our discourse. So long as. Firstly, you speak loud enough for me to be able to hear you, which I would ask you to do, and then what I'll do is, if I have something to add, if it's a short point, I'll simply signal with my fork, so you can turn your attention my way and I can shout across. Or, if it's a more nuanced point, or should a subject on which I am particularly knowledgeable or insightful crop up, typically but not limited to politics, birds of prey, or gender relations, I will simply place my side plate over my prawn casserole, thus forming a makeshift heat-retentive cover, and rejoin the table for a short burst.
Who ordered the prawn casserole?
Well, I did, but I'm going to have to ask you to take it to the small table, and I'll explain why.
British pub names are an absolutely fascinating field for linguists, of course, but there are, I'm afraid, a lot of what we call folk etymologies, tall tales about the origins of a name which we wish were true, but alas, are not.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, the Cat and Fiddle, for instance, supposedly a corruption of Caterina Fidelis, Catherine the Faithful. It's a lovely idea, but sadly the truth is probably more mundane. Or the area of London known as the Elephant and Castle. The folk etymology, it's so wonderfully inventive, I wish it were true, is that it's named after a Spanish princess, the Infanta de Castilla, turned by generations of Cockneys into the Elephant and Castle.
But that's not true.
Alas, no. The truth is, I'm afraid, far more prosaic. This was simply the part of London where, once upon a time, an elephant lived in a castle.
Hello, darling, it's me. I'm home to the castle.
Jolly good, darling. I'll let down the drawbridge for you.
Oh, thank you, darling. Here I come. Oh dear, darling. Oh, dear.
Are you all right, darling?
Yes, thank you, darling. Yes, I simply very slightly got my tusks tangled up in the portcullis again, darling.
Yes, darling. Stay there. I'll come and help you.
Oh, well, thank you, darling. I do appreciate that. But... Oh, dear. Oh, you're right, darling.
Yes, thank you, darling. I simply very slightly collided with the suit of armour at the top of the grand marble staircase, darling.
Oh, dear me, darling. Still, at least you didn't tumble down the staircase, darling. Thank heaven for small mercies.
Oh, well, don't speak too soon, darling, because after all, I am still a fully grown and now slightly panicked elephant. Attempting to scramble to my feet on highly polished marble, and I rather fear... Oh, dear, darling.
Oh, dear, darling. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, darling.
Yes, oh, dear. You know, darling, it's at times like this I almost regret that you were ever raised to the peerage and sent to live in this castle on a big roundabout in South London.
Oh, never say that, darling, never say that. I tell you what, I know what will calm you down. Minstrel! Oh!
Oh, that is indeed soothing. Thank you, minstrel. Here, have a fish stick.
Hello, I want 2 tickets for tonight, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. It's sold out.
Oh, really? 2 tickets, please.
Yeah, no, sir. There aren't any tickets left.
Yeah, I know, you said. I want 2 of them.
Look, I don't know what else.
Oh, right. Yeah, hang on. My mistake. Should have said. I'm one of those people, right? When I want something, I get it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I want these tickets.
Yeah, I don't think you understand, sir. It's not that I don't want to sell them to you. It's just that there aren't any. We've run out.
Yeah, but when I want something, I get it.
Must be nice for you.
So can I get them?
No.
Yeah, right. I'm actually one of those people, right? I don't take no for an answer.
Don't you?
No.
So what do you do when the answer is no?
Yeah, I don't take it.
Well, do you?
I take yes.
Yeah, but the answer isn't yes. It's no.
Yeah, I don't take that. Can I have the tickets, by the way?
But, look, there aren't any tickets. If there aren't any tickets, I can't give you any.
Yeah, but you see, there's no such word as can't.
Yes, there is.
Nope, afraid not.
Yes, there is, as in the sentence, you can't have the tickets.
No, I don't have them yet. And why did you leave such a long pause between you and have?
Listen to me, OK? You cannot have them, OK? You're too late. Just go away. You've tried your best and you failed.
No. You see, failure is not an option.
Yes, it is. It's one of the 2 options, and that's what's happened.
No, it's not an option. That's why I did not opt for it. So, can I get the tickets now?
Right, if I give them to you, we go away.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here you go.
Thank you. See, it works.
And that's not all. Now you're at war with the Democratic Republic of Congo.
What? Who is?
This whole playgroup.
All part of the service, ma'am. Mongers, away!
Try bringing them down from within with espionage.
Farewell!
All right, what's next?
I hear rumours of a cat in a tree to the southwest.
Very well, mongers to the rescue!
No, guys, wait.
What is it, Iron? You okay?
Yeah. No. Look, I've got something to say. Guys, I'm going to try going solo.
What do you mean? Why?
I don't know. I just think it's something I need to do.
This is Suki, isn't it? She's turned you against us.
No, it's not Suki. It's me. I want to try saving people just with iron.
Just with iron? What? So the fish would be made of iron?
I wouldn't use fish. At all.
Not not at all.
No, I just solved the problem with my magic powers of iron and then stop, while they're still grateful.
So, who would they end up at war with?
They wouldn't end up at war with anyone.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, you guys are probably right. I just need to give it a go.
But you can't break up the group. There have to be 4 of us.
You'll find someone else. You're great guys. Loads of mongers are going to want to join the gang.
So, what are you going to be called then? Just Ironmonger?
No, I thought maybe Iron Man.
What? Doofus?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh, I used to go down Southend every week in the summer. On a Saturday, our gang of us used to go. We were only lads, but we was all working. We'd meet up Southend, sit on the beach, skate and chips, watch the girls. Lovely. And there was a pier, we used to dare each other to jump off the end of it. You couldn't do that now, no fear. Health and safety's put a stop to all that, but there weren't none of that business then. Back then, you want to jump off the pier to impress your mates, go ahead, you'll look out. And that's how I ended up in this wheelchair. I mean, for God's sake, when the tide's out, it shallows the bath. Why didn't someone stop us? Why wasn't there at least a sign? So, that's why I became a health and safety officer. Not the most popular job at the moment, but I like to think I've done some good. Because the thing is, health and safety is not about making kiddies wear safety goggles to play conkers or whatever. That's the school doing that because they can't afford to be sued. All health and safety is, all it should be, is putting a sign on a pier saying, don't jump off this, you silly Herbert, it's only 4 foot of water, you'll break your bleeding neck. I'm not saying health and safety officers ain't annoying or they don't do some bloody stupid, patronising, humorless things now and then. We all do stupid things sometimes. I did a stupid thing one afternoon in 1959 and I haven't walked since. Who knows? Maybe I'd have done it anyway, even if there was a sign. I don't know. Wouldn't have hurt, though. Wouldn't have done anybody any harm.
Supermongers, thank God you're here.
It's an honor, Mr. President.
There's a tornado heading straight for it. Hang on, where's Ironmonger?
Yeah, he's not with the group anymore.
We fired him.
Artistic differences.
But fear not, we have no need of iron. We will solve all your problems with...
Fish!
Rumour.
War.
And Costa!
Coster?
Yeah!
What's Coster?
Stuff off barrows.
Right. Yeah, actually, I think we'll be fine.
What? But we're about to mong.
No, don't mong, we'll manage.
What about the tornado?
Hey, it's only a little one, we'll sort it out. Don't worry. Thanks for coming out, though.
No, it's fine.
I don't suppose you got a contact number for Iron.
No!
Fine!
Well, since you asked me for a ghost story, I do have one tale that will make your flesh creep, your spine tingle, and your clavicle go bong. Some friends and I arranged to take a cottage together for a week to catch up on our various occupations. We're a diverse little band, although obviously by that I in no way mean we weren't all white. There was Immingham, the noted archaeologist, who was behindhand with his latest dig and so arrived with a large variety of stones and lumps of iron, which he intended to bury in the garden and then over the course of the week slowly dig up. Then there was Mr. Vere, the plucky young girl mountaineeratrix, who arose early each morning and spent the day diligently climbing up and down the stairs. Immingham's wife Frimley completed the party, her profession, of course, being that of mother, and in order to join us in our attempts to get ahead of ourselves at work, she had borrowed an extra child. The place we had taken was a small fisherman's cottage in Leicestershire. This, of course, was built in the days when the English fisherman was not afraid to commute. On arrival, we explored the cottage and were delighted to find it so authentic. Fishermen's hooks and tools still abounded in the parlour, fishermen's nets were hung up as though drying in the yard, and a fisherman's wife was asleep in the bed. On the first evening, we gathered together in the parlour to compare notes on our labours. Immingham proudly showed off an iron artefact he had spent the afternoon excavating and which he believed to be an old boot scraper, Partly because of the pattern of ferrous oxidization on the blade, and partly because that's what he'd buried there. Mr. Veer, meanwhile, enthralled us with a slideshow of vistas she had taken of the upper slopes of the landing. Evidence she hoped would convince the Explorers Club beyond question of the existence of a second airing cupboard. And Frimley demonstrated to applause that she had trained one of her children to stand up on its hind legs. Then, suddenly came the sound of footsteps on the path and the lifting of a latch. We froze. We had told no one we were here. Who could possibly want to bother us here in this quaint old fisherman's cottage? The door swung open, and there in the doorway stood a quaint old fisherman.
Who be you and me?
He spluttered at last.
And what be you doing up in my house?
Of course, the explanation flashed across all of our minds in the same moment. This must be the ghost of a previous inhabitant of the cottage.
Peace, gentle spirit.
Said Frimley, who was the first to recover her presence of mind in spite of, or perhaps even because of, her womanly ladiness. No, definitely in spite of.
We mean you no harm. See, we have no bell, book or candle with which to exercise you, nor one of those vacuum cleaners on our backs to hoover you up with.
Frimley, I should explain, was a voracious reader of novels and romances, particularly novelizations of 1980s comedy films.
Exorcise, spirit, I ain't no ghost, this is my house.
Raged the spectre in bafflement, and once again we exchanged looks.
Too horrible.
Gasped Frimley.
He doesn't know he's dead.
She had recently branched out to novelizations of 1990s horror films. Tactfully, we tried to explain to the poor fellow his tragic fate. But of course, both ghosts and fishermen are famously stubborn, so just imagine what the ghost of a fisherman is like. At last, Mr. Veer suddenly had a brainwave.
My dear good spook,
Cried she.
if you are, as you say, not dead, then how do you explain this?
And with that, she seized the heavy iron door scraper Immingham had so recently unearthed and pitched it at our uninvited guest's head. Now, Mr. Veer was at that time captain of her local ladies' cricket team, the not necessarily lesbians 11. The door scraper flew with pinpoint accuracy towards the apparition in the doorway. Curiously, however, it did not, as the laws of nature and spookiness both dictated, pass right through him. In fact, it struck him forcefully on the temple, sending him staggering backwards into the garden towards the edge of a well. And then he vanished. And then he reappeared, bruised, furious, and soaking wet. It was at this point we began to wonder if we had made some sort of mistake. And until our lawyer arrives, that, Sergeant, is all I have to say on the matter. Good night.
John Finnemore's Souvenir programme was written by and starred John Finnemore, with Margaret Cabourn-Smith, Simon Kane, Lawry Lewin and Carrie Quinlan. The producer was Ed Morrish. And tune in this time next week to hear the very end of the credits.
It's John Finnemore's Souvenir programme. Good evening. My name is Roger Wattis, and I am a member of Britain's silent majority. Because we hear an awful lot these days, don't we, about giving the minorities a voice. And that's fine. I'm all for that. As long as we also give the majority a voice. And it should be a louder voice. Because there's more of us. Because, make no mistake, the silent majority are the last remaining persecuted minority. And when the majority is in the minority, that's an offence against justice, democracy and maths. And with that in mind, I'm speaking to you today as a member of the silent majority who's decided to stop being silent and tell you what he reckons. For instance, language. Shall I tell you the sixth worst thing about political correctness? After the loss of our liberties, the rape of our culture, the Marxist regime in our schools, the Guardian, and not being able to get a gollywog with my jam. It is the erosion of the great British sense of humour. I don't mind telling you that I'm renowned in my circle for my jokes. My 3 jokes. One about the gay terrorist, the one about the Irishman with a wooden leg, and the one about the octopus. And now, under the suffocating nanny PC regime, I can't tell any of them. The octopus is Jewish. And that's outrageous, because say what you like about the English, but our saving grace, the thing we've always been famous for, is our ability to laugh at other people. But now it's all differently able, differently tall, differently not a pufter. And bar green sheep. I mean, for goodness sake, what was wrong with bar black sheep? It wasn't implying the sheep was wrong or bad or good at running. It was simply saying that he was black, he had 3 bags of wool, which there's no indication he didn't pay for. And he's a generous donor in the community. It's a hymn to integration, if anything. Well, that's all from me for now. If you enjoyed this message of sturdy common sense, you may want to look out for my full 3.5-hour lecture. Coming soon to a village hall or corner of a pub near you. I hope to see you there. Mine's a Worthington cream flow. And that's a pint, please, barman, not a kilometre. My name's Roger Watts, founder member of the Silent Majority. Good night.
So, Mr. Croft, I gather you have some innovation you wish to put before me.
Yes, sir. In a nutshell, I believe I have hit upon a formula for an entirely new type of dog show.
Indeed. And how did you first become interested in dog shows, Mr. Croft?
I think it was when I realised I had a name that a dog could easily say.
I see. Well, nevertheless, I fear I cannot believe that there is any profitable type of dog show left to be invented.
And yet I believe I have one.
Come, sir. There exists now contests, the purpose of which is to determine which dog is the fastest, which dog is the superior fighter, even which dog is the most effective at bending sheep to his will. What aspect of the canine can possibly remain unjudged?
My idea is this. A competition to determine which dog looks most like a dog.
Which dog looks most like a dog?
Precisely.
But do not all dogs look like dogs?
Perhaps. But some dogs look more like dogs than other dogs do.
No, they don't.
They will if we say they do. I propose that we, as the organisers of the contest, draw a picture of a dog. And the winner will be the dog that looks most like the picture we drew.
But dogs differ widely from each other in appearance. Surely different breeds and so on.
So much the better. We can have sub-competitions. The Cocker Spaniel that looks most like a Cocker Spaniel. The Sealyham most like a Sealyham. And then the winners of these contests will be pitted up against one another, and we will finally be able to determine whether the Labrador that looks most like a Labrador looks more like a Labrador than the pug that looks most like a pug looks like a pug.
And tell me, will the dogs at any point be called upon to do anything?
On no account. No, the temperament, abilities or character of the dog will be entirely irrelevant. Our sole interest will be in selecting the dog most like the picture of a dog drawn by us.
But what can a dog or an owner possibly do to make a dog look more like the picture?
Nothing. But they can breed future dogs in such a way as to attempt to get closer to it.
Ah, I believe I understand at last. By this method, you hope to encourage wise breeding of the animals to ensure healthier, fitter specimens in the future.
Not really, no. No, I expect it will encourage intense inbreeding from a catastrophically small stock, thus making dogs less healthy, less fit, and more mad.
And for God's sake, man, why do it?
I think it will help sell dog food.
Oh, well, we do sell dog food.
Precisely. Gillian.
Well, I have to take issue with Michael on one thing. I thought the character of Catalina was the heart and soul of the book, and if he wasn't torn apart by the astonishing ending, frankly, I'm sorry for him.
No, I quite agree. The ending is beautifully done.
Yes, without wishing to spoil the ending at all, there is a wonderful moment where it becomes clear that Catalina has been blind through the whole story, which really... What?
You've spoiled the ending.
No, I said I didn't want to.
Yeah, I know, I heard you, and then you did.
No, it's all right if you say you don't want to spoil the ending.
No, it's all right if you warn people you're going to spoil the ending, and it's OK if you don't spoil the ending, but you didn't do either of those. You spoilt the ending.
Yes, I did. Blast. I'm sorry, everyone. I always get those two confused. Sorry. Morning, O King Herod the Mighty, fount of all wisdom, master of my destiny, before whom I am as the wheat beneath the scythe, O holy sun, from
Yes, all right, Kane, if you can dispense with the formalities.
As you wish, sire. How can I be of assistance?
Well, I've just had a rather odd dinner with 3 wise men who were passing through.
Oh, yes. And who would they be?
I don't think they gave their names. They just introduced themselves as 3 wise men.
Slightly cocky.
I thought that. Listen, they said something rather worrying. Now, we were talking about this and that, and I happened to notice they had quite a lot of myrrh with them. And you know how I like myrrh.
Oh, yes, Manage. You're a myrrhaholic.
I really am. So, hinted I'd quite like a bit of myrrh. And this chap said he was sorry, but it was a present for someone. And anyway, cut a long story short, it turns out that they're all going to see a baby who's about to be born in a stable and will be king of the Jews.
Ah.
And I'm the king of Judea.
Indeed you are.
Which is only some of the Jews. So this kid will technically outrank me.
Well, if it happened. Doesn't seem very likely, to be honest. Once again, I point out you only have these men's word for it, whether they are in fact wise. I really don't think it's anything to worry about.
I'm going to kill all the boys in Bethlehem under 2 years of age.
Well, that's one way we could go, yes.
So the first thing we're going to need is quite a lot of men with swords.
I'm sorry, can I just recap? There's one baby being born who might, one day, be king of the Jews, so we should kill all the baby boys in Bethlehem.
Yes.
And we're not worried that might be a bit of an overreaction.
Well, I mean, we don't know what the baby will look like, do we?
No, good point. Do we think it will look like a 2-year-old?
Well, we can't be too careful.
Yeah, I just wonder, sire, if there's a slightly less infanticidal solution to the problem. Like maybe sending a few soldiers to check out all the stables.
No, I see where you're coming from, but I think I'll stick with killing all the babies. It's just easier.
I'm not sure it will be easier, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if people were really quite cheeky about hiding their sons or running away from Bethlehem. I mean, they all worship you, O great king, but you know how funny mothers get. It occurs to me that if we do kill all the babies, but the particular one we want slips through the net and escapes to Egypt or somewhere, we're going to be left with pretty red faces. And a lot of dead babies. It's going to be something of a public relations nightmare.
Right, I understand all that, but I really think I need to go with my gut instinct on this one. I mean, king of the Jews, that would be really annoying.
Okay. As it happens, O king, the wife and I live in Bethlehem.
Oh, yes.
And strangely enough, we have a little boy ourselves.
Oh, really? How old is he?
18 months.
Oh, dear, I am sorry.
Yes. The thing is, I'm reasonably certain he's not the king of the Jews. And I'm absolutely certain he's not going to be born in a stable in the near future.
No, I believe you, of course I do, but we can't be seen to be making exceptions. That would make us very unpopular.
You know, I can't help wondering, sire, if this is actually less to do with the possible threat of a possible king of the Jews that some nameless wise men told you about, and more to do with getting back at me for beating you in that chariot race.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment, but maybe next time you'll remember who's the sodding king.
All right. My name is Oliver Ball. I've heard all the jokes, don't bother. Video submission in support of application D312. So, why do you want to be a contestant on Eggheads? Scantness of choice, really. Mastermind won't give me the time of day. Millionaire's a joke. Pointless, I think, is rather well named. So, that just leaves you guys, really. Tell us about your team. Right, the team's called the White Hart Half-Wits. The name was not my idea. You call it irony. I call it putting ourselves at a psychological disadvantage from the get-go. But there you are. We've got the polo shirts done now, so we're stuck with it. Now, I see you say, we are seeking vibrant and diverse contestants. Well, I don't know what you think you mean by vibrant, unless you're looking for contestants that oscillate rapidly. But, if by diverse you mean what I think you mean, you'll be pleased to hear that one of us is Indian and one of us is gay. say Indian, he's from Poole, but, you know, he looks Indian. Whereas actually, thinking about it, the gay one, Dermot would probably have to ask him something about it, because he's one of those ones where you can't tell to look at him. It's not me, though. Oh, I've got a girlfriend. Been together 6 years, probably get married soon. Basically, I've got an alert set up on my savings account. When it reaches a certain level, none of your business, I automatically get a text message, and then I'll think about popping the question. Or I might forward it to Selena, see if she wants to do it. Equality. Point. Liam, yeah, when you edit this, can you cut everything after me not being gay? Great. Yeah, so there's me, I'm not diverse at all, I'm afraid, but then there's the Indian guy, the gay guy, and we don't have a regular fourth member at the moment, so we can make it a woman if that'll help. Selena will do it. She won't know anything, but she'll look good, and Bernard and me will pick up the slack. OK, one thing, I've read through the terms and conditions. Probably surprised you, but I always do, even on iTunes. This one you've got here, you hereby grant us the right to use your name, voice and or likeness in connection with the promotion of the programme throughout the world, in all media, in perpetuity. Well, no, surprisingly, I don't grant that. In perpetuity. Do people fall for it? No, if you want us to do the show, let me know, we'll talk terms. I think you'll find me reasonable. So, yeah, Liam, just cut before the yawn. Michael.
Well, you know, as an honest-to-goodness, unpretentious spider, I thought it was really rather good. The denouement in particular was practically worthy of the carry.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think I'm giving anything away if I say that the Vice President turns out to be the mole in the White House.
Yes, you are.
Am I? I don't think I am.
You are. You're giving away the whole film.
Oh, sorry, everyone. We really have to stop doing this live. Good evening. Here is the news at 6 o'clock on Thursday, the 27th of September. The Prime Minister has announced that in response to the crime wave over the summer, he is going to give the police new powers, effective immediately. They will now be able to fly and breathe underwater. Sir Paul Bledworth, the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, has welcomed the new measures, which he described as way cool.
This is the news on Friday the 28th of September. In response to vehement protests and threatened strike action from leaders of the other emergency services in the wake of the controversial so-called flying policeman bill, the Prime Minister has relented and agreed to give them special powers too. Accordingly, from tonight, firemen will be able to shoot ice from their fingertips and paramedics can turn back time.
Here is the news on Monday the 1st of October. The government's flying policeman bill has continued to attract controversy, with many complaining that since the total eradication of crime shortly afterwards, the police have had nothing to do and have become a nuisance, flying pointlessly up and down motorways and clustering for some reason around street lamps. However, Sir Paul Bledworth has dismissed calls for his officers to relinquish their powers, stating, "You'll have to catch us first," and then soaring to the top of Big Ben.
Here is the news on Wednesday, 3rd of October. The government has rejected proposals by the opposition to even things up a bit by giving new powers to criminals, such as X-ray vision and the ability to talk to cats. Instead, the Prime Minister has announced today that while the police can keep their new powers, he's going to level the playing field by giving them new weaknesses, including an allergy to cinnamon and a glass leg.
This is the news on Thursday, the 4th of October. Chaos continues to reign following the glass-legged policeman bill, which has so far led to 85% of the force rendered out of action and cuts and lacerations suffered by almost 10,000 people across the country. In a joint statement by everyone concerned, they all apologised for being so silly. "I bloody wish all this had never happened," said the Prime Minister, "and hopefully, if the paramedics agree to help us out, by this time next week it won't have done."
I have more to say. Recycling. Oh, come on. Are you seriously asking me to take time out of my busy day to put my bottles and paper in a different bin? I mean, a different bin? 2 bins in my kitchen, a bin, and then another bin? I'm sorry, but that is bins gone mad. You cannot expect that every single time I go to throw some rubbish away, I should stop, look at it, think what kind of rubbish it is, and then select a bin accordingly. That's more effort than I put into choosing my children's schools. But I tell you what, I will do it. Once the Chinese have done it. As I understand it, the Chinese produce more rubbish in a single day than I do. Loads more. So why should I stop if they're allowed to carry on? What is this, one law for me and another law for the Chinese? Is this some sort of elaborate thank you for gunpowder, chess and the idea of putting peas in with the rice? Well, I'm not standing for it anymore until someone can provide me with concrete evidence that everyone in China has done their recycling. I'm not doing mine. And that also goes for doing my taxes, cleaning my teeth and picking Matthew up from Sea Scouts. Good night. All right, not bad. OK, now leave the crash mats where they are. Listen to me. Everyone get into pairs. Now, wait. Listen. Get into pairs with someone of the opposite height. Go!
What?
Come on, 8W, it's not rocket science. The opposite height from you. If you're short, find someone tall. If you're tall, find someone short. Go!
Sir, I'm average height.
Yeah, me too. What's my opposite?
Well, use your brains. If you're average height, your opposite is someone of unaverage height. So pair up with someone either short or tall. Go!
But, sir, all the short and tall people are paired up with each other.
Oh, give me strength. All right, OK. All right, listen. If you're in a pair, break up. Let's try and make this so simple even 8W can't mess it up. Everyone pair up with someone shorter than them. Go.
Sir, I don't think that works.
Yeah, all right, everyone pair up with someone taller than them. Go. Yeah, all right. Half of you pair up with someone taller than you, half with someone shorter. Go.
Sir, how do we know whether we're in the half?
Oh, give me strength. All right. Listen. If your name begins with a letter from A to M, pair with someone taller. If it's N to Z, pair with someone shorter. Go.
Sir, my name begins with C, but everyone left is shorter than me.
Yeah, and I'm the same.
Yeah, all right, listen. Everyone line up against the wall, shortest, tallest. Go.
No, but all you need is
Yeah, all right, Melanie, this will be much quicker if we don't all try and stick our oar in. All right. Now, listen carefully. Let's see if you can do this without another silly, unnecessary mess-up. OK, so the two people on either end, that's the shortest and tallest, pair off. Go. Good. Now the next two. Go. Good.
Sir?
Now the next two. Go. And the next. Keep going. Good.
Sir, when we get to the middle, won't the last two...
Melanie, I won't tell you again. It's working perfectly well. All our pairs are of different heights and...
Sir?
Yes, I can see. All right.
Sir, what
Be
about...
quiet. I am thinking.
Sir, what about if we all just pair with someone who's a different height from us?
Come on, Melanie, pay attention. That's what I said the first time and it didn't work.
Oh, no, you said the opposite height.
Yeah, will you be quiet? I'm thinking.
Everyone pair with someone a different height from them.
What? No, don't listen to them, mate. No, you just stay where you are until... Oh, well, good. Good. You've managed to sort yourselves out. Good. Now, in each pair, I want the shortest person to... Ah, good. See you all next term. Have a lovely summer. And finally, very quickly, a revival of an Agatha Christie play on Shaftesbury Avenue, which I've been told quite emphatically, actually, to be very, very careful about. So all I'll say is that it's about a certain number of characters who are faced with a certain dilemma, which is ultimately resolved, or not. Gillian.
Yes, well, this play, Death Net...
No, that's fine, carry on.
Well, it's a well-enough made murder mystery.
No, that's fine too, yep.
But, frankly, the West End needs another Agatha Christie revival like a hole in the head.
No! Sorry. Fine. Michael, very quickly.
No, I completely disagree with Gillian. It's a terrific whodunit, and if it gets people back out from in front of their TVs and into the theatres, I'm all for it. Go see.
Thank you. So, that's The Doctor Did It at the Apollo until... Death now! Immigration. Now... I have nothing against foreigners. I am fond of terra masalata, and I have been to Bonn. But what you have to remember about foreigners is that they have the whole of the rest of the world to themselves.
have is this little overcrowded island. And it is an overcrowded island, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about that. I drove into London today from Maidenhead, and there were people everywhere. So if you must come here, for goodness sake, don't come to London and the South East. We're full. Go to Exmoor, Dartmoor, the Brecon Beacons, the North. And won't that it isn't so much to ask that while you're here you observe our customs, our way of life. And that includes a certain understated stoicism, a well-developed sense of fair play, a mistrust of strangers, and a certain amount of good-humoured racism. What was I saying? Oh, yes, we are an overcrowded island. No man is an island, but some men are an island, and that's us. We are. And what I'm saying is, God doesn't build a sea by mistake. With the English Channel, he's giving us a hint, a little nudge in the ribs. He's saying, you chaps, you English, you're something special. You're not my chosen people. You've come along too late for that, but you're my first reserves. So, here's your island. Enjoy it. I've given you a fertile soil, a clement climate, a self-deprecating sense of humour, and a queen. And I've also given you a moat. And it's there for a reason. When the others come queuing up, and they will, you don't have to be standoffish, but you don't have to take everyone. The Australians, for instance. I have nothing against the Australians. This is still God speaking, obviously. Against the Australians, but let's face it, they had their chance at living here and they blew it. My name's Roger Watts, found a member of the silent majority. Good night.
You gave us life, oh Father. You gave us food and drink. You gave us strength to serve you. To think you gave us earth to dwell on and bodies just like yours. Oh, thank you, Captain Dinosaur.
Thank you, Captain Dinosaur. Thank you, Captain Dinosaur. Each diplodocus dotes on you, each stegosaur adores. None diviner, Captain Dinosaur. We praise thee, Captain Dinosaur, with hymns and prayers and songs. We raise our mighty voices, we wave our tiny arms. From the fierce velociraptor to the humble herbivore. Pterodactyls, talons, gigantoraptors, jaws. One designer, Captain Dinosaur. I've seen it, Captain Dinosaur. Your sign up in the skies. We're terribly excited. We can't believe our eyes. And as it comes towards us, this massive meteor.
Well, since you asked me for the credits of this program, I do have a list of names you may find informative. I myself, in point of fact, wrote and starred in the show, but naturally, modesty forbids me from ever telling you my name, save for one cryptic clue hidden deep within the title. I took my proposal for this to the BBC. My proposal essentially being me demonstrating the sound of my own voice and explaining how fond I am of it. But they suggested I should employ some actors to do voices. Voices, said I? Why, I can do all the voices we could need. Normal, silly French, and 2 types of posh. But they insisted, and so I trolled the music halls, carnivals, and asylums of the land until I had assembled Carrie Quinlan, Simon Kane, Lawry Lewin, and Margaret Cabourn-Smith, this last an aspiring young actress who had wisely added the Cabourn early in her career, as it was clear that no one would ever get very far in a theatre with a name like Maggie Smith. All was ready, but what, I suddenly thought, if we should need original music? At that moment, I heard a barrel organ out in the street, and rushing out, I secured the services of Susanna Pierce, after slipping 10 shillings to her organ grinder. Finally, we were ready, a ragtag army of misfits and mavericks, ready to go up against my arch-nemesis, the sinister figure known to the world only as the producer, but to me as Ed Morrish. Good night!